I wake up before dawn, as always. The city is still asleep, the streets outside my window empty and silent, except for the distant hum of a garbage truck. I like this hour best. It's when the world is most predictable, when every movement is accounted for, every shadow in its place. I sit at my desk, the glow of my laptop screen, the only light in the room, and open the file labeled Routine Alpha. The spreadsheet loads rows and columns of color-coded data, times, locations, habits, deviations. I know them all by heart, but I check anyway. Precision is everything. At 6:42, she leaves her apartment. She always hesitates at the door, keys in hand, glancing back as if she's forgotten something. She never has. I watch from the window across the street, hidden behind a curtain. She walks to the corner cafe, orders a small black coffee, no sugar, and sits by the window scrolling through her phone. I'm already there, behind the counter, apron tied, smile rehearsed. Morning, I say, just as she expects. She doesn't look up. She never does. I used to think I was invisible. Now I know I'm just part of the background, a fixture in their lives. The barista, the jogger, the maintenance man fixing the elevator. I slip into their routine so easily, it's almost disappointing. They never notice the way I linger, the way I memorize the way they stir their coffee, the way I jot down the time they leave, the route they take to work. I document everything. It's not obsession, it's order. Sometimes I wonder if they sense it, the pattern, the repetition, the way their lives are mapped out in my files. But they never change. Not really. Even when one of them disappears, the others keep moving, like pieces on a board. I keep their things, small tokens, a scarf left behind, a keychain, a single earring. I catalog them, label them, store them in boxes under my bed. Evidence, I suppose, though I don't think of it that way. To me, it's just proof of my work. Lately, though, something's shifted. I notice small changes in the routine. She looks up from her phone, just for a second, and our eyes meet. The jogger I pass every morning at 7:15 starts running a different route. The super in the building asks more questions than usual. I don't like it. I double-check my notes, cross-reference times and dates, but the data doesn't lie. The pattern is breaking. I try to adapt, I change my own habits, show up earlier, linger less. I erase my footprints, wipe down surfaces, delete security footage, but the feeling lingers, like a draft under a locked door, a presence just out of sight. I start to see unfamiliar faces in familiar places. A man reading a newspaper in the cafe, always at the same table. A woman with a camera pretending to photograph the street. I catch them watching me, just for a moment, before they look away. It's not fear I feel, it's irritation. I've spent years perfecting my craft, blending in, becoming essential and invisible at the same time. Now someone is disrupting the order. I consider confronting them, but that would be reckless. Instead, I watch, I document. I add new columns to my spreadsheet. Unknown male, cafe 7:03 a.m. Woman with camera, park bench, 8:12 a.m. Their routines are sloppier than mine, but I track them all the same. One night I return to my apartment and find the door slightly ajar. Nothing is missing, but I know someone has been here. The boxes under my bed are untouched, but the dust on the lid is disturbed. I sit in the dark, listening to the city outside, and realize I've become part of someone else's pattern. The thought is almost amusing. I burn my notes that night, one page at a time, watching the flames eat away years of work. I erase hard drives, smash phones, throw away uniforms. I leave the city before dawn, blending into the crowd at the bus station. Just another face among many. I don't look back, but as the bus pulls away, I catch my reflection in the window. I see the same calm eyes, the same steady hands. I know myself. This isn't the end. It's just a pause, a recalibration. Somewhere in another city, someone will leave their apartment at 6:42, hesitate at the door, and glance back as if they've forgotten something. And I'll be there waiting, ready to begin again. The bus rattles through the outskirts, the city shrinking behind me, replaced by fields in the slow gray dawn. I watch the other passengers, a woman with a sleeping child, a man in a suit tapping at his phone, a teenager with headphones lost in his own world. They're all so easy to read. I imagine their schedules, their habits, the little rituals that make up their days. I could learn them if I wanted. I could slip into their lives as easily as I breathe. But I don't. Not yet. I let myself drift, anonymous, unremarkable. I rent a room in a small town, pay cash, use a name I haven't used in years. The landlord barely looks at me. That's good. I walk the streets at night, learning the layout, the shortcuts, the places where the streetlights flicker and the shadows pool. I watch the people, how they move, who they greet, what they carry. I don't take notes. Not this time. I let the patterns settle in my mind, unrecorded, uncommitted. Days pass. I keep to myself, working odd jobs, blending in. I become the man who fixes the leaky faucet, the one who sweeps the sidewalk, the face in the crowd at the grocery store. I feel the old urge, the itch to document, to control, but I resist. I remind myself that I'm waiting, that patience is part of the process. I watch for signs, someone watching me, a car parked too long on the corner, a question that's just a little too curious. But nothing comes. The world moves on, indifferent. Sometimes late at night, I think about the city I left behind. I wonder if they ever pieced it together. The missing people, the subtle shifts in routine, the way I vanished without a trace. I doubt it. People see what they want to see. They forget quickly. Still, I know better than to get comfortable. I keep a bag packed just in case. One evening, as I'm locking up the hardware store, I notice a woman across the street. She's standing under a street lamp, looking at her phone, glancing up every few seconds as if waiting for someone. There's something familiar in the way she stands, the way she checks her watch, the way she hesitates before crossing the street. I feel the old excitement, the spark of recognition. I could learn her routine, I think. I could become part of her world, just as before. But I don't move. I watch her disappear into the night, swallowed by the darkness. I turn away, lock the door, and walk home alone. For now, that's enough. Still, as I lie in bed, listening to the quiet hum of the town, I know this is only temporary. The urge will return, the patterns will call to me, and when they do, I'll be ready. I always am. The days grow longer, the air thick with the scent of cut grass and distant rain. I settle into the rhythm of the town, my presence barely noticed, my face already blending into the background. Sometimes I catch a glimpse of myself in a shop window, just another man with tired eyes and a forgettable smile. It's almost comforting, this invisibility. But the world is never truly still. One morning as I sip coffee in the corner diner, I notice a flyer taped to the window, a face, a name, missing. Not from here, but from a city I know too well. The details are vague, the photo grainy, but I recognize the pattern. The past has a way of echoing forward, rippling through the quietest places. I watch the townspeople read the flyer, their eyes lingering for a moment before moving on. No one looks at me. No one ever does. I finish my coffee, leave a tip, and step out into the sunlight. The streets are busy, the world moving, as it always does, each person locked in their own routine. I walk home, my mind already working, mapping the town, the people, the possibilities. I tell myself I'm just being cautious, just observing. But I know better. The urge is there, patient and persistent, waiting for the right moment. I feel it in the way my fingers itch to write, to record, to control. That night I pack my bag again. Not because I'm afraid, but because I know the pattern is shifting. Somewhere, someone is watching, just as I once did. Maybe they're better at it than I am. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. The game never really ends. It just changes players. As I leave the town behind, slipping into the anonymity of the highway, I feel a strange sense of relief. I am not caught, not exposed, not punished in any way that matters to me. But I am alone, always moving, always waiting. The world is full of routines, and I am always searching for the next one to unravel. I disappear into the night, a shadow among shadows, knowing I will return. Not here, not now, but somewhere, someday, the pattern will call to me again, and when it does, I'll be ready.